A little bit more accommodating. I mean, where am I supposed to put my iPad? These microphones off here. That's well, it's, I very much appreciate the folks that are here today. We wanted to come to Newark and make this announcement about Jerry Wray. Let me say a few things. I've known Jerry, in fact, we haven't even visited on it. I think I've known Jerry about 25 years, maybe 20 years. And, you know, I worked with him a little bit when he was actually the head of the Department of Transportation. In fact, I had a bill in the Congress to eliminate the highway, National Highway Program. The purpose of it was to maintain, put 2 or 3 pennies in the till to make sure we could maintain the interstate. But the interstates are basically done, and what I wanted to do was to allow the states themselves to levy whatever money they wanted to pave their roads and to do the kind of things that are necessary to do, and stop sending our money to DC and have it not all come back. And Jerry came to Washington and actually testified on that bill. It makes perfect sense. Most states in the country would benefit. The reason why we don't do it that way is because the Congress wants to pork itself out with special projects. And but anyway, it was interesting to have Jerry come down there because it was a bold proposal. It was great to have somebody of Jerry's position and stature to come to Washington to make that argument. I have had my eye on Jerry for quite a while. Actually, you know, I did not make a decision to run until May of last year, but I guess it was a year or two before when I started thinking about public policy options here in the state of Ohio, and I called Jerry and asked him if he would sit in on those meetings, which he did. And I think when he first sat down, he was taken aback by the level of change that I had been talking about and our team was focusing on. And I think he didn't quite believe what he was seeing. But as time went on, he got really with the program and began to understand that we could have a total restructuring of the state of Ohio. And then once the campaign started, I saw more of Jerry, and we have a number of mutual friends. Why is this important? Well, obviously, we are the 4th largest highway system in the country. The other thing that is so important about Ohio is the good Lord has blessed us with a great location here in Ohio. You can sell Ohio on the basis of the fact that it's connected to so many other parts of the country. And so we're blessed with this good location. And if we're going to have a good location, we need to have really great infrastructure. What Jerry's job is going to be is to get $1 billion to $1.5 billion of the gas tax money used effectively and efficiently to improve our infrastructure and basically to drive significant improvements in productivity. I'll give you an example. We're going to have a freight train that's going to go up to North Baltimore. When it gets up there, it's important that when the train stops, that we can continue to transport goods and move them across the rest of the country. Intermodal. It's important that we design our highway and infrastructure program to be able to create jobs, because in case you haven't noticed, every time we announce somebody, it is about the process of creating jobs. Jerry has been around politics for quite a while, but he's been out, and frankly he could have taken the easy way out and just decided to kind of give it up. But I think the longer he was around our team, the more excited he got about the potential, particularly the potential to run the Department of Transportation in a very business-like fashion. So he said to me yesterday, he said, "John, when I get this job, I'd just like to know, have there been any promises made to anybody about any highways? And how many promises did you have to make?" I said, 0. he said, "No, let me ask the question again so I can get this figured out." Now, in the course of this campaign, as you traveled around the state, people were asking you if you would support certain projects, and clearly you had to say that there are projects that you really like. So what would those be? I said, there are none. Zero. And I told him a story about being over in Steubenville. I was getting ready to do a fundraiser over in Steubenville, and I was playing golf. And I was on the tee box, and there were 3 guys standing behind me, which is always good when you play golf, that when you tee off and they stand behind you. And they said to me, you know, we would really like to have this road built here that thinks it could really help us. So what do you think? And I stopped my swing and I turned around and I said, I can't promise you a road. Let me get that straight right now. There's no promises and no pledges here. I mean, if it makes sense, fine. And when they pick themselves up from the ground, because they're not used to that, I think in some ways it made them feel good. And so as we go through this process of being able to spend and execute the $1 billion to $1.5 billion, we're not going to use political considerations. For the county engineers or the political operatives out there, they just have to understand it's not business as usual. It's a new day in the way we're going to do things. Because infrastructure investment is precious. If we can build a road and we can improve people's lives by bringing economic prosperity to a region because we have improved the ability to transport goods, what could be better than that? Improving people's lives, strengthening families, helping people to climb out of poverty. And if what we do in the process is to play a political game, the state loses. And we will have none of that, as Jerry Wray is the director of the Department of Transportation. We're going to upgrade this system. We're going to move projects on a more consistent basis. If there are more things that can be privatized in that department to give us greater efficiency, we will do it. Now, for all of you, I asked Jerry a critical question. Jerry, is there a way on a holiday when we're all trying to get somewhere and you guys have all these projects going on and it takes us 5 hours to go through something that takes us 15 minutes, can you fix it? I can't promise everything, but we'll try to accommodate the citizens of our state. So I'm very, very pleased about this. Jerry is a pro. He is a professional. He will run this department in a business-like way. His people that he will bring on will understand no games, no politics, no train, and we will get the job done. And I'm very, very pleased that Jerry's decided to step back in the arena. I said to him yesterday, "You sure you want to do this?" He said, "John, I'm excited about doing it because we can rebuild the professionalism inside the Department of Transportation, and it will be a great opportunity." So I'm very proud to present as the Director-elect of the Department of Transportation, NERC's own Jerry Wray.